Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Brian if you're new around here, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, you smashingly gorgeous human being. That's what you get for subscribing, by the way. Free compliments at the start of these videos. As we dive into New World, as we cover the dev blogs and updates, that's what you can expect here. Daily uploads regarding New World, MMORPGs, Final Fantasy, and more. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button and this is the video that gets you to do it, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And another great and easy free way to help out the channel grow is hitting that like button on these videos. It really helps and means the world to me when you do so. Now today, like I said, we're going to be covering combat responsiveness and PvP changes to war. New World's been rolling out weekly updates to address issues, and it seems like they've really kind of crushed a bunch of the bugs that have been persistent since the game has launched. And now we're gearing up for the next update, the next major update, which they're kind of targeting for November. We'll be sure to keep it locked here to the channel for more of the information. But like I said, I like also diving into the dev blogs because it gives us a lot of insight to what they are hearing, what they're feeling, and what they're thinking. And it can kind of tell us where the game is going to go. As always, you're welcome to sound off in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts about what we cover here today. But it's time to dive into combat responsiveness, and then we'll go ahead and jump into war, territory control, and what the devs are saying. So it says, hello, combat fans. I'm going to start, really enjoy that intro. Who isn't a fan of combat? Along with bug fixing, tuning, and the plan changes for war and territory control, which we'll cover in the second part of this video, the team is starting some next steps for combat in New World. Our initial focus will be on weapon swapping, dodge cancels, and attack input windows. We are currently working on weapon swap responsiveness to make sure that it is more consistent throughout all of our attacks, and we want swapping weapons to be an integral part and a fluid part of combat. There are many times where you think that you swap weapons, but you end up attacking with a currently equipped weapon instead. I am very guilty of this all the time. In fact, in the footage that you're seeing in the game itself, chances are you're going to see that happen from time to time. Now, we are working to fix these situations and expand when you're able to swap your weapon. Along with weapon swap, we are looking at our dodge cancel windows and attack input timings during recoveries and of all of our attacks. There are some inconsistencies that are not intended. For example, you are able to dodge cancel out of some recoveries, but not others. And you're able to perform heavy attacks out of those recoveries and some abilities, but not all abilities. Our goal is to make sure that there are consistent input windows between all weapons and abilities. So weapon swaps, dodges, and attack inputs are a major part of our combat system, and we want to make sure that they feel fluid and responsive. We'll be rolling these changes out over the next few releases, so please continue to provide your feedback, and we'll continue to make these improvements. In addition to the changes of combat responsiveness, we're also planning on a balance update in a future patch to adjust a variety of abilities and tune some of the lesser used abilities to make a wider selection of abilities more viable. To further improve combat in Eternum, we don't want to spoil too much from this update yet, but note that it's in the works and it's on its way. And obviously these combat changes also directly lead into the dev blog for PvP War and Territory. But at the end of the day, I'm very, very pleased with how the devs have responded and how they've communicated. And of course, as a player, I always want more. I always want better. So at the core of it, just note that this is going to be a rolling thing with New World. If you like MMORPGs, A, you're in the right spot. But also B, you know that things happen, things change. And games just, you know, if the devs love the game, they continue to improve. But now let's dive into PvP War and Territory in New World. Hello, adventurers and conquerors. Today I want to provide an update on the health, status, and vision for PvP, war, and territory control in the metagame. Before we dive in, I want to apologize for all the issues that we've seen in war so far, and thank you for your patience as we work to resolve them. I know there have been some serious lag issues in war and a number of exploits, including the invulnerability exploits, that have marred your experience. And we've made an initial set of changes to address some of the issues that we're working on, some of the higher impact changes that need more testing. It's a top priority for the team to get war on a stable, performant state where the skill and coordination of the best team determines the outcome. Let's start by reiterating our high-level vision, and we want to create a game where PvE and PvP not only coexist but support each other. We also want wars, not ganks, meaning we want to support meaningful PvP and war and the open world conflict between the three factions. Open world PvP. We feel open world PvP is an okay position, but we have room to improve. The rewards for flagging while leveling are good, the 10% XP bonus makes a difference, and the rewards for PvP kills are meaningful. At the end game, however, the rewards for flagging are not good. There are two changes coming in the short term that should help. The first is that we're going to increase the luck of players when flagged. This should be an important and lasting benefit to flagging. Second, we're going to reduce the durability damage to gear when flagged. This will also reduce the risk of flagging a bit, especially in the endgame gear repair costs. The medium term, we will also adjust the rewards for PvP kills at 60 so that they can enhance player high watermark, the HWM system. We covered that in a previous video. It's dealing with your gear. So if you're first time seeing HWM, note that's how gear drops, and then that increases the chance that higher, better gear can drop as well. So again, they also had a post on that we covered here on the channel. To learn more. So longer term, expect a new open world activity where flag players can participate in what we hope spurs and rewards more smaller scale engagements across the tournament. In addition to rewards, we understand that there are some gameplay issues with open world PvP. Currently, it's hard to know whether a player is in your faction and if they're flagged or not. This can make it difficult to know whether or not you have to back up and assess whether you should engage or not. We are aware of this issue and working on a fix. We also understand combat tactics can be difficult since the visuals for all area of effect spells are the same. So it is difficult to know whether a spell is from an ally or an enemy. Unfortunately, this is not a trivial fix. It will require significant code update and numerous asset changes. While we agree that this is an issue, this will take substantial work and investigation, and it will not be resolved soon. Regarding war, though, as stated above, the lag exploits in war have hurt the experience. With the patch coming out this week, most of the major issues have been resolved, and that's already been applied in live for a while, and honestly, it seems like has really resolved a lot of the issues. There have been some complaints about war happening too often. There is a 24-hour cooldown between wars, and with the war windows, that means war is happening almost every 2 days per territory. Players can also delay that through the influence race, which is now much more viable since we fixed the scaling influence issue. Overall, we think war every 2 days is a good cadence, but please continue to let us know what you think. We are seeing war fatigue from factions which funnel a group of players into every war. While we love this cooperation, having one company or one company's worth of players own multiple territories should be very hard, and it's not what we are balancing war cooldowns toward. We're also continuing to review balance within war. Defenders are winning more often than attackers, which is what we want. Currently, defenders win around 80% of wars. We also want rewarding defending companies to build up their ranks and upgrade their forts. But we will keep an eye on the balance as we resolve the major exploits and make sure that both sides have a fighting chance. We know that communication and coordination in war is not optimal at the moment. It's hard to know what roles participants in war have chosen, so it makes coordinating difficult. We will begin investigating ways of addressing these issues, but don't have anything planned in the near term. Regarding territory control, overall, we're seeing territories change hands with decent regularity. As stated above, we want to favor the defender and seeing a good spread between factions on most servers. We do have two systems in place to help with faction balance. We allow players to switch factions, but don't allow them to switch to the dominant faction. We also increase the influence underdog factions earn for PvP faction missions to give them a better chance at earning the right to declare war. But we may need to do more. We are watching for faction balance on all of the servers, and if it becomes a general problem, we will have a few ideas to help resolve it in interesting ways. We are also aware that some territories, we're looking at you Everfall, produce a ton of tax income, while other towns can be much harder to support and upgrade. There is a change coming soon where we will help distribute a main tax income stream to every territory. We want to review the impact of this change before we make further changes, but there are some other changes we could make in the medium term if it is sufficient or insufficient, excuse me. And a last bit of good news to all territory flippers out there, there are some new PvP mission types coming to the game soon. These changes serve two purposes: adding some much needed variety to the PvP missions and helping to distribute the PvP action to multiple locations to spread out some of the large PvP zergs we're seeing. Please let us know what you guys think about these changes when they go live soon. Thank you so much for reading and listening in this case. Thank you for, feel free to post any follow-up questions, concerns you might have, and I'll try to address the top issues and a follow-up in a few days, weeks, or time. And with that, I look at this as really positive, really exciting changes, because within the world of New World, like PvP is a great sandbox tool to keep people coming back, to keep people engaged, especially as you wait for new content. As my voice cracks also at the end of this. If you made it this far in the video, sound off with voice crack in the comments. That way I know where you're at. So beyond that voice crack and that aspect, last night we just ran the Starboros dungeon. In fact, if you guys are curious, the live stream is up on the channel, and wow, what an impressive piece of content. And it has me so excited both for the future of PvE content and PvP. I haven't had this like driving force of like I have to level in this game, but after doing Starboros, I was like, yes, I really am looking forward to the next level so that I can get to the next dungeon, because people were saying just wait to the next dungeon, just wait to the next dungeon. So PvE, PvP, I really think that they have a really great recipe for how both systems balance and impact each other in the PvE and PvP sense. And so yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled to see these changes. Very much excited about what the big major November update includes, and obviously I'll be covering it here for you guys, as I like to do. So I thank you so much for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you have a fantastic day. Hopefully I'll see you in my next video. But until then, take care.
Friendly, fun, and optimistic community, baby. Coming from an MMO community filled with toxicity, this is an amazing breath of fresh air. Keep it up, baby. Oh, yeah. I just want to say I'm really glad you're feeling